And get ready, a war is breaking out here in Washington. Oversight Committee Chair Darrell Issa, taking no prisoners, has issued a subpoena to one of the top officials working to fix HealthCare.gov. The Obama administration is furious, and so is ranking Democrat Elijah Cummings. He is demanding Chairman Issa withdraw that subpoena. The Hill's Elise Viebeck joins us. Nice to see you, Elise.
Thanks, Greta. Hi.
Okay, so who has been subpoenaed and why?
This is Todd Park, the Chief Technology Officer of the United States, who works in the White House, and he's been enlisted to help fix this struggling healthcare enrollment site. He's one of the main people helping to organize this effort.
I thought Jeffrey Zients was one of the main people, and I thought his boss, where the buck stops, was HHS Secretary Sebelius. I thought, there are these other people.
You're right on both counts, but no, bringing all the talent they have to the table for this. And Todd Park is some guy who's done billions of dollars of work in healthcare IT. They really trust him. They think that he's going to be great. All of his former colleagues have praised him to the skies in all kinds of papers. But now Darrell Issa is saying that he needs to show up to Capitol Hill to tell lawmakers what's going on. And initially he refused to do that.
When was he tasked to fix the site?
I believe in the beginning of October. So as soon as they found out that all these problems were happening, that's when they brought the team in.
And they can't find 2 hours where they can relieve this guy so that he can testify before Congress, which has an obligation to oversight.
That's what they're saying, that it would be too disruptive to his efforts to fix the website for him to not only testify on Capitol Hill, but also to prepare his testimony, because obviously these officials don't just show up. They're coached beforehand on how to answer.
If he's been working on this for 6 weeks, he ought to have it in the back of his mind. I mean, these answers ought to be pretty easy.
I think it's a little bit hard to believe that a couple of hours can't be spared for an official. Now, I'm not on the inside of these repairs, but at the same time, this is an important hearing. Darrell Issa, it's his first one as Oversight Committee Chairman, and so we're going to find some things out, and apparently Todd Park is going to show up because he was subpoenaed.
Well, see, this is what I don't get. He doesn't need, preparation time. I've done a bazillion depositions over my life and in trials and everything, is that you want to prepare someone who isn't, like, steeped in it. Yes. But if he's been the one since the very beginning who's been very involved in it, you'd think he'd have it on the top of his head, or if he doesn't know the answer, he can say, I can get it to you, or he can bring an army of associates with him, and he can dispatch somebody to go get it.
Right, so he's only been involved in the repair effort. The other people that they're calling to testify were involved in actually constructing the site.
But he's the only one who's resisting the subpoena.
That's right. And so the White House on his behalf sent Issa a letter saying, listen, it's really, we're happy to reschedule, they said. We'll do it in December as long as the November 30th deadline has already passed and Park's time is a little bit more free. But what this really underscores is the fact that the White House and Darrell Issa don't get along. I mean, that's the bottom line here. This is a spat, and then it caused another spat with congressional Democrats who are batting back at Issa saying, hey, withdraw the subpoena, let this guy work. And now there's this big tech campaign saying, let Todd work.
Does Todd work on weekends?
I imagine they do. But,
well, no, you said imagine. I'm just sort of curious. I mean, they are actually, they're shut down for maintenance, so maybe they are doing it over the weekend. But it's like, maybe he's got the weekend free and he can come testify. I don't know.
Right. I mean, you would think so. We know Jeff Zients is working around the clock and apparently for no pay, although I don't think he needs it.
All right. Why? Yeah, no, I don't think so either. Why is it so urgent to Issa that he come before November 30th, if he's willing to come after November 30th?
This is Darrell Issa's big chance to look at the rollout in depth. And
but can he look at it on December 1st?
He can, but he wants the answers now. And there is a little bit of politics being played here. Of course, Darrell Issa has actually handled it very well. He's been leaking documents successively throughout these weeks, internal HHS memos and meeting notes that all of us in the media have been very interested in because they shed light on the amount of chaos surrounding all of this in the first week of October.
Well, let me be a little sarcastic. So I take it we weren't getting those documents through transparency of the administration?
I don't know. Well, apparently they finally gave them to Congress, but he's had to issue another subpoena for Health and Human Services Kathleen Sebelius to get those documents in advance. So,
Elise, thank you. Nice to see you.
Thanks, Greta.